Hey LEGO fans, and welcome back to MB Bricks. My name is Maya and today we are going to be looking at my finally fully finished castle that I've been working on for Bricks in the Six 2024. This castle is guarded by the Lion Knights, so I have named this castle the Crimson Claw Castle. This castle features 3 floors that are fully finished on the interior, as well as a basement level, and then we are going to take a look at the roofs, the courtyard, as well as the gatehouse. If you like medieval style builds, be sure to leave a like and a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to see more. Now, without further ado, let's take a closer look at this build.
Let's start with the front of the castle. The castle is guarded by a large outer wall and a tall gatehouse. The gatehouse was setting the tone for the rest of the castle build, and I'm glad I went with this textured look with the different elements and colors. There are several Lion Knights pacing around and keeping an eye on the surrounding area. The 2 towers are donned with a lion sculpture on each side at the top, and there is a Lion Knight's emblem on the gatehouse as well. The gatehouse has a working portcullis, and I have used black to give it that wrought iron look with tooth plates on the bottom. The gate is hoisted up and down manually using this piece on the side. The castle is now quite tall and is quite imposing. I love the look of the dark brown and regular brown matched against the stonework for the wall. The black roofs also really pop, and I've continued the same design going up the front of the castle. The roof of the castle has 3 sections of black roofs that are decorated and 2 additional towers rising up to give the best view over the village below. I tried to give it a lot of architectural details such as the little frogs to give it some character. The roof on the right hand side has a small access hatch that leads to the roof from the servant stairwell within the castle. A couple of Lion Knights are pacing from the tallest portion of the castle. There is then a balcony that is accessed by the 3rd level of the castle. This balcony is loaded with bows and arrows in case of an attack. For now, another couple of Lion Knights are keeping an eye out below, ready to request backup if needed. The courtyard is a bit difficult to see, but there are a few details there that I wanted to show off. In front of the inside dining hall, there is a beautiful flower garden donned with the castle's colors for the flowers. This gives a pleasant scent within the castle when the windows are opened. A wine-making area is nearby, with the village's finest grapes being crushed and fermented in the barrels. This is close by to the castle's kitchens for easy access. There are some important figs walking around, possibly shopping in the courtyard market, which only hosts the finest materials from the kingdom. A couple of knights are just returning on the horseback from an important journey, and 2 more knights stand guard at the front entranceway. Turning the build around, we can finally see the fully finished interior of the castle. I am very happy with how this turned out and very pleased that I was able to incorporate the lighting into this build, which is the first time I have done any sort of lighting like this. These lights come from LEGO, and if you're interested in purchasing some lights yourself, I'll pin the link in the comments below, and make sure you add in discount code MBBricks for 25% off your order. We can start with the mines, as that's where I began my build. We can see a lot of gold veins running through the walls and some more gold spilling onto the ground. A few trolls are busily working away to collect this gold and transport it out to the castle. There is not a lot of light provided for these poor trolls, just a few feeble torches in the middle of the room. I have 1 troll carrying an additional torch, 1 is mining the wall, and another is pulling a large cart to load up. This tunnel behind him actually works around to come out the other side, where there is a small access point to the village. I have also added in these little mushroom characters who are misbehaving a little bit and trying to steal the gold that the trolls have worked so hard to mine. Moving towards the dungeons, we can see a poor fellow who tried his best to escape, but ended up getting trapped here and staying forever. The guards never found him. On the other side of the underground section, we can see the dungeons. This will be another very dark and dingy place of the castle, and we can see a couple of occupants in the cells, one of which has been there for a long time. Besides the cells and lights, the dungeon is otherwise barren and unwelcoming. The flooring is unfinished, and I added in the same textured ground as the base of the mines. A single guard stands by the stairs, which lead up to the first floor and the servants' stairwell in the castle. You can see a door leading to the exterior of the castle, where prisoners could be brought in and led directly down to the dungeons. Just adjacent to the stairwell is the armory, where soldiers could quickly get ready and then exit through that same door to defend the castle, or ascend the stairs to the upper floors. The armory is dimly lit and is filled with all sorts of armor, weapons, and shields. Next up, we are heading to the main foyer of the castle, with a grand staircase leading up to the second floor. The foyer is 2 stories tall and is framed with a long balcony on the second floor. Several large potted plants decorate the hall in the castle's colors, and a suit of armor sits in the corner. The younger princess is playing in the middle of the hall with some kittens. Cats were very welcome in medieval times as they helped keep the rodent population down. The foyer is finished with some large windows donned with brilliant red drapes, and a large emblem is hung above the large doors leading to the front. Straight off the foyer leads into the dining hall. The king and queen are here, feasting on a large lunch consisting of bread, cheese, soup, wine, and pie. Several staff are nearby to grab them anything they desire. Nearby tables are showing off their wealth with full turkeys and roasted pig on display. There are also wine and tea tables that are always ready in case of guests. The back wall has another large emblem of clashing swords and a large hanging flag. The final room for the first floor is the kitchen, which is located right off of the dining hall. There are lots of fun details in here, including a stove with burning coals inside, a bubbling pot on the stove, and a lot of utensils hanging on the walls. The tables are full of spices, vinegars, and other foods required in the meals they cook. We can see a maiden busily working away, preparing some fish, as well as some newly finished pies cooling nearby. This door leads to the courtyard, giving easy access to the winemaking barrels outside. Continuing on up to the second floor, we can see the library located right above the kitchen. I tried to keep a cozy feel to the room with the dark brown furniture. A large built-in surrounds the window, leaving a little reading nook in front. The shelves are decorated with various objects. There is a small desk with a half-written note, and then another larger bookshelf crammed with books. I have finished off the room with a large rug, 2 brick-built chairs, and a table piled precariously with books as well. You can access the library from the seating room, which we will look at next. This was a large room that used to entertain guests. There is a large staircase that leads up to the 3rd floor, and in front a couple of different musical instruments to show off to visitors. In front of the window is a large dessert table piled high with pastries, cookies, and a large cake, again in case they have guests. The candles are glowing here again, and another glowing candle is placed on this table, which also holds some plates, fresh water, which was hard to come by in medieval times, so it was definitely once again showy, and a couple of goblets. The very front of the room is where you can see some seats and a small table which has a checkerboard set up to play. The older princess is here, chatting with her best friend and sipping some wine. We will head back along the balcony of the 2nd floor, passing by a maid puttering away and tidying up after the royals. The other side of the balcony leads to the map room, used by the king and his men to figure out the best routes for long journeys. The map room is always a fun one for myself to put together, and there is a lot to see in this small area. The center of the room has a large table that is actually built sideways to give a cool texture to the top of it, finished off with a map and a compass. On the left-hand side, we can see a small desk area with a note and glowing candelabra. The shelf beside has some books and items found on faraway journeys. The other side is finished off with some treasure and a globe. The map room leads into the servants' stairwell, where, once again, soldiers could head down to the armory and then straight outside. The stairwell has changed from the dampness of the main floor and underground to a drier upper floor, so I have switched from the dark bluish gray to the light bluish gray. This continues all the way up to the roof. The third floor is where we can find the bedchambers. The servants' stairwell leads to a small hallway where the princesses' rooms are located. I have opened both of these rooms up with a large arch to view the interiors, but you can imagine a wall being in its place with a couple of doors. The youngest has a lavender bedspread with several toys on the floor. I have once again included the green wooden duck, which I have used before and is a nod to the original Lego wooden toys that were produced by Ole Kirk Christensen. The second bedchamber belongs to the eldest daughter, who is a bit more modest with her room and better at keeping it tidy. She has chosen coral for her bedspread and has some simple perfumes on the table and any other belongings stored away in the chest. Continuing along, we can see a more open hallway decorated with the same plants found in the main foyer, tall windows with matching red drapes, and large doors leading to the balcony area. The third floor is accessed through the stairwell that leads up from the seating room. The door right off the stairwell leads to the King and Queen's bedchamber. This room is quite large and boasts a few more belongings. The bed is large and donned with brilliant red covers, and a tea set is nearby for tea at any time. The table on the right-hand side of the room holds the Queen's beauty supplies, including a hairbrush and makeup. This bookshelf is actually one of my favorite features of the castle, as it swings open to reveal the castle's treasury. I could think of no better reason to have a secret room but to hide all of the castle's riches and jewels. I have added in several lights to give glow to the gems, and I had a lot of fun adding in the piles of gold and putting in all the specialty pieces on the shelves. Finally, we can see the back of the roof area. The center is matching to the gatehouse with two large towers on either side, both overlooking the land in all directions. A couple of skilled archers pace the rooftop, looking for suspicious activity. Now I'm going to turn off the overhead lights to get a full view of the light show within the castle.
And that covers everything for this full castle tour that I will be bringing to Bricks in the Six 2024. Next up, I'm going to start working on the village portion of the diorama, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to see more medieval or fantasy style builds, do check the description below. I will leave links to those playlists for you guys to check out. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, as it does help out this channel a lot. Thanks so much for checking out this video today, guys, and until next time, keep on building.